you're walking on the sidewalk in any Canadian city and the police come up to you and they say, look, I'm placing you under detention. He puts his hand on your shoulder and I'm going to conduct a pat down search here for my own safety. Are they allowed to do that, first of all? That's a great question. And the answer is yes in some circumstances and no in other circumstances. And we're going to talk about this today. This is the Kruse Law YouTube channel, and we answer very common questions about criminal law. We try and do it in plain language. So when can the police conduct a safety search of your person and perhaps belongings without your consent? So you're not consenting to the search. So let's talk about, and I'll talk about some different scenarios. So let's talk about that detention situation. So a detention is different than an arrest, first of all, okay? Detention is when the police stop you and they're investigating, and they have to tell you that you're under detention, by the way, and they just want to ask you a question or something. And by the way, if you're under detention, you don't have to speak to the police, and you can ask your lawyer. That's an important point right there. But in this particular situation, it really depends on what they're detaining for you. Like, so for example, let's say the police, there was a robbery and you look like the robbery suspect and you're 2 blocks away and the police stop you. In that particular situation, the police will be allowed to detain you. It's like, look, we're investigating this, probably put some handcuffs on you briefly and, pat you down to make sure you don't have a gun if there's a gun in the robbery. In another scenario where it's a much less serious matter, where they just had something where maybe you slapped someone in the face and you looked like that person, then do they really have grounds to pat you down at that point that you think you have a knife or a gun just because you're a citizen at a restaurant? So it depends on the situation. In other words, the police, if they have reasonable grounds to suspect that you committed a crime, can detain you to ask you questions about it. But the second step as to whether they can search you on a mere detention is they have to have reasonable grounds to believe that you may have a weapon on you or the public safety or their safety is at risk. So that's reasonable grounds is a higher test. And in the situation that I gave you where you just were accused of slapping someone, what are the grounds that you had a weapon? In the robbery situation I gave you, there are probably reasonable probable grounds. Okay, so that's a detention. That's a safety search. It's for the public and the police protection because they don't want to be shot or stabbed by you, a person on the sidewalk. So let's take another situation. This is the second type of safety search. And this is called an arrest. So you've allegedly committed an offense. The police arrest you. Okay, so they're going to take you into custody. In that scenario, they're allowed to do a search of you. They can do a pat-down search, which they're going to do. They're doing this for safety. They're doing this to preserve evidence as well, okay, and finding any other evidence that might be on you. If you have a bag, they're entitled to search your bag. Let's say you're holding a bag. It may even go to your immediate surroundings. Like if you're some situations where you were arrested in a car, they might be able to do the immediate surroundings and take a quick look to see if there's any weapons. So this is a safety search. It's called a search incident to arrest, and it's for various reasons, including officer safety and public safety, okay? Now, obviously, that's important. You're going to be brought back to the police station. They don't want to have weapons on you at the police station. They may even do a more intrusive search at the police station in some situations, beyond the pat-down at the police station. So that's for officer safety. These are searches for officer safety under 2 categories: investigative detention and for lawful arrest. But bear in mind, when you're under investigative detention, ask to speak to a lawyer. That's your right under Section 10B, even for a detention, and for an arrest, I might add. And it's your right not to say anything. So in that scenario where the police approach you on the street and put you under detention, I would ask for a lawyer and I would say nothing. Well, they might bring you back to the police station then, give you a lawyer, still say nothing, and hopefully send you on your way. Or maybe they're going to arrest you for the offense if they're convinced you're the robber or the person who slapped some woman in the face in a bar. And I hope you weren't that person. I hope you don't, obviously. But there's just some typical examples of safety searches incident to arrest for various purposes, and pat-down searches on an investigative detention for officer safety. Anyway, thanks for joining me today on the video. This is the Kruse Law YouTube channel. We make these videos for you. I really enjoy doing them. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.